All right, today is day one of NaNoWriMo. Yeah. So I am excited and a little nervous about doing NaNoWriMo. I'm excited to know that I will have draft one of both books in the duet done by December 1st. I'm excited to do this. So there are pretty much 4 places that I write. So I write in my office, probably about 40% of the time. The other 40% of the time is in my bed, and then the rest of it is split between Starbucks and my kitchen table. I actually get a lot of work done. Something to me about the ambience of writing at night in the dark, just like the glow of my laptop. I have a lap desk that I use, and plenty of pillows to be able to have, better alignment. But I tend to write my more emotional or my steamier scenes in my bed. It just gives a little extra something to it. I don't know, maybe that doesn't make sense, but that's my process. So let me give you a little bit of an office tour. Okay, so this is my office. So I have the doors here, my printer's over here. This is my mess area. It's kind of like my catch-all. My plant babies are right here. I tend to record right there, so you can see this little stack of stuff I use to stack my camera on. That's where I record. And then I have my bookshelves over here. I reduced down my book collection by a lot. But it's not color coded, but it's actually separated by genre and type of book. These are all of my TBRs. So all of these and these are just my physical TBR, except for Ugly Love. I actually just read this one. I finished this one. I let TikTok influence me. And I read it. And then all of my historicals are down here, and there's a row behind it. And these are like my emotional support books. But yeah, and then trash. And so this tiny little nook is actually storage. It's the most bizarre thing when we got this house, that we had this, it's pretty deep, but it is filled to the brim with stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so this is my writing space. So this desk actually has a L shape that came out that I took off just to have more room to walk around. But I live for my double monitors. I need to get a new wrist brace for my keyboard. But this desk also rises, and so couldn't do it one-handed, but it turns into a standing desk. And then I have my mat for my feet, because we like alignment. So, all right, so the plan for today. My writing goal each day is about 2,500 words. My goal is about 65,000-ish words, somewhere in the 60,000 range for book 2, which means I'm gonna have to write 2,000 to 2,500 words a day. I have at least 2 hours blocked each day towards my writing, with the exception of Saturday. Saturday is my brain break day, and that is with the understanding of knowing how I work, which is that I'm probably gonna have big bursts one day, and to kind of make up for taking off that time. So my target is 2,000 words, and then I have my outline. I'm feeling pretty good about my outline. Feeling pretty good about how things went with Say You Will, which is draft 1 of my first book that I just completed a couple of days ago. And I'm letting that marinate, letting that sit. And then once I get draft 1 of book 2 done, then I will go over my prints of both books and go do my first round of edits myself before I send it off to alpha readers. So that is my rough plan. So let's see how day 1 goes. Is this going well, or is it not going well? I've been here for 30 minutes and Everyone is screaming outside my door. I don't have headphones. Oh my God. The silence that I need to be able to focus is just not present. NaNoWriMo Day 2. So today is November 2nd, 2023. I survived day 1 of NaNoWriMo and it wasn't that bad actually. It's definitely difficult to try to write with all of these damn kids in my house. But I did manage to get 2,200 words written yesterday, which is beneath my 2,500 word a day goal, but I am feeling good about it because I also tightened up my outline. One of the things that I did a few weeks ago is that I created my outline for book 2, which is Swear You Won't, and I did that with not having finished book 1, and a lot of details in book 1 have changed, and I know also that some details in book 1 are going to continue to change as I edit. I am letting book 1 kind of marinate and sit for a moment and just kind of like be for a moment, but yeah, I'm enjoying the process of writing book 2. So one of the things I did yesterday, I wrote chapter 1. I finished chapter 1, which is a shorter chapter, but I got it written, and I started writing chapter 3. I have the beginning of chapter 3, like the maybe 20% into chapter 3, 10% into chapter 3. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to finish chapter 3. My sprint now, I have about an hour dedicated while baby girl is napping, and I'm going to try to get chapter 2, finish chapter 3 and maybe finish chapter 2. We'll see how far I get. Day 3, that's 2 fingers. Day 3 of NaNoWriMo. Today is November 3rd, 2023, and I am actually feeling really good about where my manuscript is. I am over 5,000 words written between the first and the second, and the first act of the book is really shaping up to be pretty strong. The beginning of the book is pretty emotional. There's a lot that happens in a short amount of time, and there's some aspects of the story that I honestly have not fished together all of the lines that are connecting it together. So that's going to be interesting. That's part of my planting, I guess you could say, because I have a lot of this book figured out already, but also I have a lot that's like not. The plan for today is Friday. I am starting a sprint right now. I have about an hour while my baby is asleep, and I don't have any appointments. No one is coming to my house. And so I'm going to take the next hour, hour and a half while she is napping to get some words on the page. So my hope for this sprint is 1,500 words. Let's see where we go. Just for a little proof, what I have highlighted there, 5130. That's my word stop from yesterday. So the words did not word today. I think I wrote about 300 words today, but I did spend a good amount of time figuring out I did spend a good amount of time refining the first few chapters in my outline. So I have chapters 1, 3, and 5 pretty much written. So I was able to really tighten those things up, but then I just hit a wall because I realized I needed to do a really substantial round of developmental edits on the first book because there's a lot of elements, major plot devices that I need to address. And, you know, I know that instead of adding things, it's best to take things away. I'm contemplating an element of the story just going away, and I don't know how I feel about that. So I've just been going through the manuscript pretty much all day. Well, not all day. Most of the day today. I spent a couple hours just going through it, and just feeling like this device is not working. Just feeling like this element's not working. So we'll see. But I'm gonna make a decision tonight. So tomorrow I can move forward, and also I will have notes on book 1 on the things that are going to change. That way I'm starting from like a good point in for book 2. I hope that makes sense. So I'm behind. I did not get what I wanted done yesterday. So I ended the day at only 500 words written, but I did I did make a decision about that plot device that I am no longer going to be using. Getting rid of that plot device means that a lot is going to change within the dynamics of not my main 2 characters, but my main male character, Hunter, and how he interacts with literally everyone else around him. It's a big change, but I am today writing out exactly what the world looks like for them with this part removed. And then I'll see what writing I'm able to get done tonight. So the problem with having been a writer for as long as I've been, and having been an editor, not just of nonfiction materials, but also of quite a bit of fiction and quite a bit of romance, I know when something is wrong. I know when it's not right. I know when a piece of information needs to come sooner, when the exposition is just too much, or when I just know when the manuscript's not right. And luckily, I know what the solution is a lot of the time. But the challenge for me is figuring out how to note what needs to be changed, note what needs to be added, and figuring out what's a thing that immediately needs to be fixed and what's something that can wait until the next round of revisions or further. So I'm trying not to get frustrated. I'm trying not to beat myself up about this, but I'm getting frustrated and I'm beating myself up about it. Good morning. Today is Sunday, November. I don't even know what day it is. Everything is upside down because it's daylight savings. Starting? Ending. I don't know. Why do we even have daylight savings? Anyway, I am getting a couple of hours to go to Starbucks and write. And I came to a realization yesterday that feels really, really good. So I have decided that in order for me to effectively move forward on book 2, I need to address the plot holes in book 1. So my goal is today, Monday, and Tuesday are dedicated to me fixing book 1. And if I finish up sooner than those days, then great. You never know. But my goal is to find the plot holes, refine the plot holes, make it all make sense, and then go forth and really hammer out book 2. So what is that going to mean? That means I'm going to have a couple of days of some really high word days that I need in order to stay back on track with the nano goal. I'm over 6,000 words on my current manuscript on book 2, which isn't terrible, but I know that if I take a couple of days off, I am going to have to catch up with those words. So it'll be fine. Also, my birthday is on November 19th, and my husband gave me my birthday gift early because he historically has never been able to keep surprises from me. So anyway, he got me these Sony headphones that I have been looking for and looking at, have them in my Amazon cart for literally 7-8 months or something like that, and I love them so much. The sound quality is amazing on these, and they have noise canceling, and it's connected to Google. So let's go see what I can get done in the next couple hours. So we have made it through, I have made it through my first week of NaNoWriMo, and I don't know how it's going. So the biggest thing that I've learned over this past week is that I really needed to go through and really tighten up draft 1 of my manuscript, which is Say You Will, before I could really get into Swear You Won't. And I wrote what I feel like are 3 really good scenes / chapters in the second book. I feel like I did a really good job of those chapters, and I feel like of all of the chapters that'll stay in the book, those are probably the ones that will stay. But there's so much to my main male character, Hunter. There's so many aspects to his real presence in the book that I just really needed to refine and just really narrow down. And I learned that I just have a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I have a lot of elements to Hunter's character that I just simply really needed to revise. And so I've had writing professors who liken it to what stylists say, where, you know, before you leave the house, take 1 accessory off. I don't know if I agree with that because I really don't accessorize to begin with, but the same premise kind of applies, right? If you're stuck with a story, one of the things that my writing professors have always told me is that don't add more elements, take things away, simplify it, bring it back, right? And so that's really what I'm doing. And so I'm looking at all of these elements, all these plot devices that I've put into this story around Hunter's character, because I feel like my goal was to just really make him a really dynamic character. But in doing that, I made him too complex. It's like, boy, pick a struggle, right? And so I've been pulling back and really giving myself space to simplify his character. And I'm finding that in turn, that's allowing me to give him more emotional depth, which was what I was seeking in the first place. Today's Monday, and I am planning on finishing up all the changes that I'm gonna make to Hunter's character and any other major plot devices today. So today is the day that I'm making my decisions on all of the aspects of Hunter's character, and I'm moving forward from there. So once I make all those changes in book 1, I will then be able to focus solely on book 2. So what does that mean? That means I'm gonna have a couple of really high writing days. So I'm gonna have like a 3-day period where I need to get like 25,000 words written, but I know I can do that and it's fine. So yeah, am I winning Nano? Am I losing Nano? I think I'm winning in the end, but I don't know. What do you think? That's it. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this weekly wrap up, and I'll see you next week. Bye.